Well, hello once again, all my vintage dirt bike loving YouTubers, and firstly thanks for your continuing support of my channel as we head towards the 9,000 subscribers total. Now in this next featured clip, this is an extremely rare Italian motocross machine I captured at the recent 2020 Telford Classic Dirt Bike Show, so let's get right into it and take a look at a very rare 1974 Aspes Hopi 125. Now, the origins of the Italian Aspes company date back to 1955, when it began constructing bicycles at its factory on the outskirts of Rarity in the province of Varese in Italy. Now, they initially produced bicycles for the masses and then progressed to building mopeds fitted with Minarelli engines. But it was in 1974 that Aspes launched this 125cc Hopi with their very own engine in the frame. Although many earlier Aspes motorcycle models were also fitted with Sachs or even Maico power plants. Now, Aspes weren't the only motorcycle manufacturing company in Italy who began by building bicycles. Other notable motorcycle manufacturers were, of course, the legendary Aprilia. But these little Aspes 125s were good machines for 1974 and were said to be the first 125 motorcycle designed and built in Italy to reliably compete against much of the other motocross manufacturers of their day. Now, this particular motor is a 125 Aspes 2-stroke, which is said to have 4 transfer ports. Now, as far as I can recall, these machines had a 5-speed gearbox and a standard wet multiplate clutch. Now, the fuel was fed by this Japanese Mikuni carburetor. Now, the bike's cylinder barrel also had these rubber insulators between the fins, and this was to cut down on any vibrations that would be produced by the coolant fins while the engine was running. And one of the other innovations on this motor was that the gear selector shaft ran the full length of the rear of the engine, which enabled you to fit the gear shifter to whichever side suited you best. You can just see the gear shaft just below the brake pedal, and in this particular instance the owner has the gear shifter fitted to the left hand side of the machine. Now, there's also a mounting there for a side stand, which seems to have been removed. Now, the front suspension fitted to this machine is Aspes' own make of suspension, although many of these Italian manufactured motorcycles of this period opted to use either Marzocchi or Seriani units. Although Aspes actually set up their own department at their Gallerati plant to manufacture these forks, and by all accounts they were good enough and performed quite well for a bike from 1974. Now, on the other hand, these Aspes rear suspensions are not their own make, but are a pair of piggyback Marzocchi units, which naturally once again are manufactured in Italy. Now, as far as the Aspes Hopi's exhaust system is concerned, it's certainly different from conventional off-road systems that you would normally find on motocross machines, as it has this very unusual oval, or rather flat type tailpipe. Now it's very seldom that you find one of these old Aspes Hopis from 1974 that still has their original exhaust system fitted, and there's usually quite a nice little brap comes out of that tailpipe once that little 125 engine gets fired up. Now these old Aspes motorcycles are extremely rare, although you would still think that there would be more of them around, especially here in the UK, with this being a completely manufactured European machine. Now, as far as I remember, these fuel tanks held about 2 gallons of fuel, but as to the actual tank itself, I'm not sure if these were made of alloy or fiberglass in 1974. Although the one thing that seems pretty constant on these old classic dirt bikes is that they always seem to have a very comfy seat fitted, and when you compare them to a modern day dirt bike, these are extremely comfortable for an old machine from that period. Now, with regards to the bike's controls, it appears to have all its original levers, grips and cables, and many of these Italian motocrossers from back in the day were fitted with Tomaselli twist grip controls, and because these were of course all Italian made motorcycle parts. Now these Aspes Hopis had a steel frame, of course, but I'm not sure if this is the original colour of the frame, as it looks like it's just some kind of primer colour, although it does certainly have the look from 1974. And back in the 1970s, Aspes would name their machines after famous Indian tribes, and a few of their previous models were called the Apache, the Cheyenne and the Navajo, which were all of course household names back in their day. Now it's also mentioned in the Aspes motorcycle history books that road racing legend Giacomo Agostini's younger brother Felice raced an Aspes Cross T Special in 1971, winning the Italian junior motocross title on a version of one of these Aspes 125s. Although I have to admit, over the many years that I've been chasing these old classic dirt bikes, this is for sure, for me, the very first Aspes 125 I've actually seen in the flesh, because nowadays you just don't see these Aspes 125s on any type of racetrack. Such is the rarity of this machine. So I hope you enjoyed this very brief look at another extremely rare bike from the 1970s, a very nice 1974 Italian made Aspes 125 Hopi. And so I hope you will stay tuned to my channel in the future, as we have more of these rare breed classics coming your way, and naturally the best way to see them is to just subscribe to my channel, and that way you'll be notified immediately every time I upload a video. This video was brought to you in association with WorldSport, the world's #1 supplier for all your off-road and leisure sportswear. Just visit their online website for more information.